In 2003, I was sentenced to 144 years in prison. I wouldn't make it home for 16 years and 11 months. And I have memories that haunt me for good, forever. They wake me up in the morning, and sometimes they keep me from going to sleep at night. One of the memories that sticks out so vividly and true is the moment that the cries stopped. We were in Yellow Brick Road, more specifically a place called Solitary Confinement. And it had garnered its nickname because the walls were yellow just as the floors were. The lights a yellow hue, and it was known for driving men crazy. This particular circumstance and situation occurred when an individual had came from off the street overnight and had become, well, inebriated so much to the point because of his addiction to alcohol that he needed another drink. But while in confinement, he was denied access to it. And his body was going into detox. He was starting to have seizures. He would tell the COs through the door in his screams that he was starting to see things like rats running around in the cell. He was hallucinating because his body was shutting down, because he had formed a severe addiction. And that moment was when its body was going into failure. I'll never forget the moment when the COs, after thinking that he was just joking, complaining, crying out loud like often many would do while in solitary confinement, they were caught. They were stuck in shock when they realized that his life was gone and his soul had left his body. I've got other stories too, for I know men that went into solitary confinement and never came out for a multitude of different reasons, not because they no longer could hang on to life, but because they realized that they could no longer deal with the insanity within those walls. In solitary confinement, you're forced to face your fears, your darkest thoughts and memories. You look into a mirror of your thoughts, and the only noise that could disrupt that thought pattern is the loudness and chaos of individuals banging and screaming, hoping that they can be set freed from a place called solitary. And for those of us that even make it out, the residual impact and effects are there long after. To this day, confined spaces, well, they bring about a certain feeling. You see, what happens in solitary confinement, the impact doesn't stop when you walk out of that cell, for the impact echoes long after. And that's what this documentary is going to be about. The true impact of solitary confinement during the moment and what happens after. Asking the question and answering it. Does it actually help rehabilitate people? Is it a needed process in today's justice system? I know firsthand the destruction and demise that it causes. And though, while some of us did find ourselves in a place called the hole, many of us lost ourselves in it. So join me in this quest to tell the truth and tell the story of solitary confinement and its true impact in a way that you have not seen before, through the eyes of somebody that has survived it over 3 years in total. Echoes long after.